You spend 45 minutes on the treadmill. The machine beeps and tells you that you have burned 600 calories. You feel accomplished. Later, you eat a muffin that contains 400 calories. The math seems simple. You are still in a deficit of 200 calories. You should lose weight. But week after week, the scale does not move. Why? Because the machine lied to you, not about the numbers, but about how your body works. There is a fundamental misunderstanding we all carry about our bodies. We tend to view humans as simple engines. In a car, if you drive 50 miles, you burn a specific amount of gas. If you drive 100 miles, you burn double that amount. It is a linear equation. We apply this same logic to weight loss. We call it the additive model of energy expenditure. It suggests that if you burn 2,000 calories just by being alive, and you add 500 calories of exercise, your total daily burn is 2,500. This is the logic behind every fitness tracker and every treadmill display in the world. But here is the catch. Biology is not engineering. Your body is not a car that passively burns fuel. It is a dynamic, reactive, and incredibly smart survival system. When you push the gas pedal on your body, it doesn't just burn more fuel. It checks the fuel gauge, realizes the tank is draining faster than usual, and actively tries to stop the loss. This is why the treadmill math fails. We need to explore a different model, one that explains why adding hours of cardio often results in 0 pounds lost. It starts with a simple question. What if your body has a daily energy budget cap that you cannot exceed, no matter how much you run? To understand why cardio does not guarantee fat loss, imagine your body as a large corporation with a strict financial department. Let's say this corporation has a daily budget of $2,500, or calories. This budget covers everything: keeping the lights on, brain function, heating the building, body temperature, security, immune system, and manufacturing, cell repair. Now, imagine you decide to spend $500 on a new project called Morning Jog. In the additive model, the one we usually believe, the corporation would just spend the original $2,500 plus the new $500, totaling $3,000. But the body does not work that way because, for most of human history, extra energy was not available. Food was scarce. So the body's chief financial officer looks at the books and says, "We are spending $500 on this jogging project, but we do not have extra revenue coming in. We need to cut costs elsewhere to stay within the $2,500 budget." How does your body cut costs? It is subtle. It might dim the lights. You feel a bit more tired or sluggish in the afternoon. It might reduce the heating. Your body temperature drops slightly. It might cut back on security. Your immune system becomes a bit less active. It might even pause long-term projects like reproductive health. This is known as constrained total energy expenditure. Think of a smartphone. When the battery gets low, it enters low power mode. The screen dims, background apps stop refreshing, and downloads pause. The phone still works, but it is miserly with energy. When you dramatically increase your cardio without changing anything else, your body enters a biological version of low power mode for the other 23 hours of the day. Scientific data supports this. There comes a point where exercise stops adding to your total daily burn and starts replacing other functions. You run for an hour, burning energy. But then your body reclaims that energy by making you sit more, fidget less, and reducing invisible metabolic processes. You think you are burning the candle at both ends, but your biology is simply blowing out the flame on the other end to save wax. The body prioritizes survival above all else. To your genes, weight loss looks exactly like starvation, and your body fights it with every tool it has. We can see this mechanism clearly in one of the most fascinating anthropological studies of recent times. Scientists traveled to northern Tanzania to study the Hadza tribe. The Hadza are some of the last true hunter-gatherers on Earth. Their lifestyle is incredibly physical. They do not sit at desks. They walk miles every day, hunt game, dig for tubers, and carry heavy loads. If we follow the standard logic, the additive model, the Hadza should be burning an enormous amount of calories. A Hadza man should be burning significantly more energy per day than an office worker in New York or London, simply because he is moving so much more. The scientists attached sophisticated energy trackers to the tribespeople to measure exactly how much fuel they used. The results were shocking. The Hadza men burned the same amount of calories per day as a sedentary man in the United States. The same. Despite walking miles and engaging in heavy physical labor, Their total energy expenditure was identical to someone who sits on a couch watching Netflix. How is this possible? It goes back to efficiency. Because the Hadza are so active, their bodies have become masters of efficiency. Their bodies have dialed down the energy spent on things we do not see. Their baseline inflammation levels are lower. Their stress responses are different. Their bodies have adapted to the high activity level by reducing the overhead costs of being alive. Now, let's bring this back to your local gym. This phenomenon explains something called behavioral compensation. Have you ever noticed that after a really hard workout, you take the elevator instead of the stairs? Or you sit down on the couch and don't get up for 3 hours? This is not just laziness. It is a biological drive. There is a concept called NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This includes all the movement you do that isn't exercise. Tapping your foot, standing up to get water, pacing while on the phone, fidgeting. NEAT accounts for a huge chunk of your daily calorie burn. When you punish your body with excessive cardio, your brain unconsciously commands you to stop fidgeting. You stop pacing. You collapse into a chair. Your NEAT plummets. You might burn 400 calories running, but then you burn 400 fewer calories the rest of the day because your body has essentially glued you to your seat to recover that energy. The net result? Zero change in total energy expenditure. Finally, we must address the most powerful weapon your body uses to protect its fat stores: hunger. This seems obvious, but the mechanism is precise and often overwhelming. When you increase your cardio, your body increases the production of ghrelin, the hunger hormone. This is not just a feeling of, I could eat. It is a primal command. Studies show that people often unconsciously overestimate how many calories they burned and underestimate how many they are eating. You run for 30 minutes and burn 300 calories. You feel virtuous. You feel you have earned a reward. You drink a smoothie that contains 400 calories. In that single decision, often made without thinking, you have wiped out the caloric deficit. This is the license to eat effect. Your brain justifies the extra food because of the effort you exerted. Does this mean cardio is useless? Absolutely not. This is the most important takeaway. We need to separate weight loss from health. Free. While cardio is a terrible tool for weight loss on its own, it is the best tool we have for longevity. Remember the Hadza. They burn the same calories as us, but they are much healthier. They do not get heart disease, diabetes, or many modern cancers at the rates we do. Why? Because the energy they spend goes to movement, not inflammation. When you exercise, you are forcing your body to allocate energy to your muscles and heart. To balance the budget, the body takes energy away from things like chronic inflammation and stress reactivity. This is a good trade. You want your body to spend its budget on a strong heart and working muscles, not on keeping your system inflamed. So the conclusion is a shift in perspective. If you run to lose weight, you will likely fail and be frustrated. Your body will fight you with hunger, fatigue, and efficiency. But if you run to build a strong heart, to clear your mind, and to force your body to optimize its systems, you win. Weight loss happens primarily in the kitchen, where you control the energy coming in. Health happens in the gym or on the trail, where you tell your body how to manage the energy it has. Do not view your body as a calculator. View it as a masterpiece of survival that needs to be understood, not just forced into submission. Exercise for your heart, eat for your weight, and respect the incredible biology that keeps you alive. If you enjoyed understanding the biology behind the treadmill, subscribe for more science that respects your intelligence. Let us know in the comments, have you ever felt the couch potato effect after a hard workout?